Paul Skenes officially won the NL Rookie of the Year award and gave one of the most heartfelt speeches of all time. Do we have the speech?
I actually have it memorized.
Oh, Kate.
Wow, Kate.
But let him go first,
All
and maybe you won't be as impressed.
And you hit us with the remix?
Yeah.
All right, good evening and welcome to the Barstool Rundown. And this rundown would not even be possible without DraftKings. Watching your team is nice. Watching your team win is even nicer. But why not make that a win-win? Our partners at DraftKings are all about that winning feeling right now. New customers who bet just $5 will get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using my promo code RUNDOWN. The crown is yours. Follow all your favorite Barstool personalities' picks in the Barstool betting group on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Excuse me, guys. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code RUNDOWN, bet $5 on any wager, and get $150 in bonus bets if your bets wins. That's promo code RUNDOWN.
I was about to say how smooth that was until
And then
you
it just
fucked it up.
completely went off the
Yeah.
hinges.
Yeah.
And I read the same thing twice. I sounded like the terms and conditions apply guy.
I was going to start singing, "You've got that winning feeling."
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
that winning feeling.
All right,
Anyway,
before
we're off
Kate
to a hot start.
sings any
Yeah.
more, let's get into our first topic, which is John Stamos bravely wearing a bald cap in solidarity with Full House co-star Dave Coulier, who has been diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer. I'll start off by saying now, ever since a week ago, first thing I think of when I think of Full House is the new Mandela effect that they never called Joey Uncle Joey.
Yeah, that was
was
wild.
Stunned by that. Brandon Walker brought it up on the Yak, and that Full House growing up was my show. If my parents wanted to get me, if I was being a pain in the ass, like the biggest punishment you could give me was I couldn't watch Full House that night or America's Funniest Home Videos. Those
And
two
it was so smart
cut me
'cause
deep.
You couldn't do anything. You couldn't go anywhere. There's no DVR. There's no Netflix.
Right.
You
You
had to
miss
be
it, you miss
sitting
it.
there.
But I watched every single episode over 8 entire seasons, and I was fighting with Brandon on the Yak saying they absolutely called him Uncle Joey. That's blah, blah, blah. I thought he was blood relative, too, on the show. He wasn't.
Yeah, I
was
knew he
just a family
wasn't.
friend.
I knew he wasn't blood relative, but I was shocked. I would have bet my life that he was called Uncle Joey.
Yeah.
I think there's a minor discrepancy because I think Jesse called him Uncle Joey here and there, but the thing is that the kids never did. So we can keep a little bit of our sanity because I feel like I definitely heard it at least once or twice. But regardless, let's get into this move. Not even shaving his head and wearing a bald cap instead.
Well, so Dave Coulier came out. He's got stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he's like a really beloved dude. He's he just has that like cut it out, Mr. Woodchuck. But I think so many of us grew up with. He was like one of the warmest characters on that show, and has just been a good dude ever since, except for that time he fucked Alanis Morissette over and she wrote that song about him. You ought to know.
That's because that song is brutal.
And every time I scratch my nails down someone else's back, I hope you
You
went
think
down
that's-
on him in a theater.
You think that's better or worse than Stevie Nicks? Like, you're gonna hear my voice
Forever.
yeah, the sound of my voice haunts you.
Wasn't he also in that band in
He
Fleetwood?
was.
Yeah, and she like there was one performance where she's like looking at him, stone faced, doesn't look at the audience at all, and just sings it.
That's tougher because he recovered, but like he's just like a beloved guy in America. Dave Coulier is just like, even the way he looks, he's just like a super likable dude. So as soon as he announced he had this cancer, like all the people that he worked with on that show came out in full support, including Uncle Jesse, aka John Stamos. And he's actually getting shit on right now. People are trying to like cancel him because he posted a photo with Dave Coulier, who's actually has a shaved head now because of his treatments. He put I call him Uncle Jesse, but John Stamos put a bald cap on. It looks, I had to ask Chaps, I was like, before I read the caption, I was like, is this actually his bald head? It looks so smooth. He's like,
yeah,
you're
it
an
looked like
idiot.
a smooth picture from like the TikTok filter.
Yeah.
It's like a bald filter.
Mr. Clean Filter. The better move for John Stamos would have been to just do nothing at all. You
Yeah.
can't be wearing the bald cap.
People are saying it was like an easy out and like a corny thing to do when your friend actually has to shave his head and blah, blah, blah. I think they're both smiling in the picture. Dave Coulier seems fine with it, so who gives a shit? But
you think he wishes that he shaved his head? Did it?
I think, if anything, he wishes that he didn't wear the bald cap because I don't
Right.
think anyone would have questioned him not shaving his head. He has like an amazing
most
head of hair, a
gorgeous.
notorious head of hair. So I don't think anyone would have thought twice. But seeing that diver's cap on him, you're just like, what are you doing? That's kind of a weird cop out, unnecessary cop out.
Yeah, kind of a weird thing. An actual quote from a tweet: John Stamos needs his ass whooped for that bald cap. Have mercy. Am I right, folks? That's but yeah, people were super pissed about it. I think they were just having fun. Dave was in on it, and it's a nothing. But if you guys want to kill him, I guess.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I'll say it. Cancer Survivor right here.
Yeah.
I never expected anyone to shave their head. The bald cap, though, again, I could see how it comes off the right way, but no need to be getting mad at Uncle Jesse at all over this.
Yeah.
Well, if Danny says it's...
Yeah,
Danny
if I
said
say
he's
okay.
our resident expert.
Yeah. Right,
So
and that's how it goes.
We speak for veterans, and you speak for cancer.
Right.
Survivor.
If you want to show your love, shave your eyebrows for
In
me.
your face, Casey Smith.
Yeah. That's right.
All right, now we are moving on to P. Diddy in jail. Prosecutors reporting that he is, in fact, running the jail, actively sabotaging any chance at bail he may have had.
Yeah. Apparently, he is paying other inmates for their phone time and then using their phone lines to contact people. I guess when you're in prison, you have like a very specific list of here's the only people you're allowed to contact. He's using other inmates' phone lines to contact people outside that list. And they believe it's people that he's blackmailing and being like, keep your fucking mouth shut. And apparently he's already like running this fucking jail. And
that's got to be categorically untrue. Because if they did it, there's recordings. Like anytime that if you're in jail or you're in prison, it records your phone call and everything is admissible unless you're talking to your attorney and you don't talk to your attorney through one of those phones. Every single thing is recorded because they want to monitor any type of contraband that goes in there. There's so many things that they monitor. He probably can buy, because that's, if you have a big commissary, like the money that you have, you can definitely buy different shit, and that's how they get all the food, like honey buns and all that stuff. So I don't doubt that somebody that rich would be doing that, but
prosecutors are alleging he's paying off other inmates to use their accounts, and I don't know.
Yeah, so use their accounts. I could see that, but calling, all of that would be recorded.
He's doing too much funny business too early. Like he just got there.
He's got to lay low a little bit.
Right. He's already has a huge target on him, and this is not going to help.
But I don't think he was getting bail anyways.
Right.
The story that I thought was interesting, because he was in a big court case before. If we all recall the nightclub shooting of 1999, where several people were injured, one of his bodyguards from the time claims that right before the verdict came out, was he going to be guilty and go to prison or not, he went into Central Park in New York City with like a shaman guy. And he saw, this is the bodyguard saying, he saw Combs drop to his knees before another man, and the man swirled smoke around him. It was burning sage. And then the bodyguard saw a man holding a Bible while praying over him, laying his hands on Combs, then told Combs to remove a white bird from a cage. Combs threw the animal into the air, and it flopped back down dead on the ground. And then, guess what happened that afternoon? He was acquitted of the charge.
Wow.
So are we going to see more dead birds is what I'm concerned about.
I
as
honestly
a bird lady
God say
myself.
he dropped to his knees and started sucking a little dick in Central Park.
Busted out the baby oil.
Well, knowing him, perhaps too.
Maybe,
Who knows?
yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. That's another big story that's going around right now. So just a real strange, it's a strange bird, strange fella.
Yeah, they accused Young Thug of the same thing, and he ended up getting off the RICO charge, which getting out of a RICO charge is difficult.
So
Yeah,
who knows?
He's on like 3 years house arrest or something absurd though. You're gonna need more than a white bird for
and
that.
he's on probation for 15 years.
15 years, can't do anything. Damn. All right. So next we got Paul Skenes officially won the NL Rookie of the Year award and gave one of the most heartfelt speeches of all time. Do we have the speech?
I actually have it memorized.
Oh, Kate.
Wow, Kate.
But let him go first,
All
and maybe you won't be as
And
impressed.
you hit us with the remix.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Paul, from all of us. What does this honor mean to you right now?
This is cool.
There you have it. That's all he's got. I will say he was a guest on the Yak. Lovely guy, badass dude, incredible athlete. Man of few words.
Yeah.
Just happens to be, I think, who he is.
But I think you want that from your ace that is going to be there. You don't want all kinds, just throw. That's all he does is throw and be with Olivia. What is her name? Liv Dunn.
Livy Dunn.
Yeah.
Raise her up.
To play devil's advocate, though, it's like, you were expecting to get asked about this thought maybe you had 2 or 3 lines prepared, but
Yeah.
you're right. It was cool. Just be yourself, I guess. It was cool, period.
I mean, I want to thank my teammates too, like the very traditional like quarterback kind of answer. I like that. It's cool.
You're right. That's getting more remembered than
Yeah.
I want to thank my mom, God, my teammates. All right, Paul Skenes. What? Quality over quantity when it comes to words for Paul Skenes.
I like to
that.
think he's got crippling social anxiety like me. And so he's a great athlete. Really, really cool dude, but then just can't function when he's in front of a mic, and he just keeps talking and rambling like me if he does. So it's best to keep quiet. And then in that way, I'm just like Paul Skenes. We're the same.
You are. Does he have a bad back or no?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Odds are good.
Yeah.
So we're the same guy.
All right, football is back in full gear, and ordering Part of My Cheesesteak for your game day meal or late night eats is the best play call you can make. Part of My Cheesesteak brings you awesome cheesesteaks and loaded fries delivered right to your doorstep, and we'll be offering free delivery throughout the entire football season. So take your pick of our delicious cheesesteaks made with fresh, thinly sliced steak, melted provolone, mouth-watering cheese sauce, and caramelized onions on a toasted hoagie roll. We have classic cheesesteaks, chipotle cheesesteaks, chicken cheesesteaks, buffalo chicken cheesesteaks, and many, many more. You can order the popular Big Cat Combo and get your cheesesteak of choice, fries, and a drink. Find a Part of My Cheesesteak near you and order yours now at partofmycheesesteak.com. Use code AWL for free delivery.
Hell yeah. I've been hankering one. I might order one for lunch today.
All right.
Not to brag. Buffalo chicken cheesesteak lady myself.
How often would you actually eat cheesesteaks while living in Philly?
Growing up, like Sunday was our big football Sundays. Bunch of 24 hot wings, cheesesteaks for the whole family, and a large pizza was the move. And
Okay.
that was,
It's a great move.
And then maybe one other time a week would be cheesesteaks, but
I wasn't sure if it was like deep dish in Chicago where really you're eating
You
it
don't
maybe
really?
twice
No.
a year. It's like a luxury, if anything.
no, we were crushing a lot. It's good. Healthy.
And our last topic of the day, the famous Russian ballet dancer, Putin critic, and opponent of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Vladimir
Skyrov,
yeah.
has died at the age of 39. He fell out from a window of his 5th-floor apartment in St. Petersburg.
Now, Danny, are you familiar with how often this happens in Russia?
I am not. Can you tell me more? It's the first I'm hearing about this, actually.
I can. So, since 2022, of suspicious deaths like this, of like CEOs of banks, anybody that's been a high-level person that is rich, like connected to one of the oligarchs that has been against the Ukraine invasion, most have died. And it's either through like murder where they're found in like a hotel room with their whole families. They do poisoning, they do falling out of window. There's 26, I counted it up, 26 window fallings.
Wow, they need to start like investing in some guardrails. Are they immediately suspicious? Like no one's actually believing that they're falling out of off a balcony.
It's kind of an open secret. Like everybody knows exactly what it is and exactly why it's happened. But if you're in Russia, you don't fucking say it because you're going to be the next one to fall out a window. You'd be surprised at how many times there's actually a Wikipedia page where you can go through the whole list and see everybody, how many times it's hospital windows that they have fallen out of. I don't know anybody in America. I never see stories of people falling out of hospital windows. I feel like that's, and again, like a lot of times too, the whole family, it's like, you don't see, it's a whole thing. So a lot of fake strokes, a lot of fake.
Yeah, you have all kinds of
But basically,
shit.
if you speak out about it, and it happens to like say I'm an oligarch in Russia who speaks out against the invasion of Ukraine, and then I move to Britain, his team finds you wherever you go. And so it's happening in other countries and like whatever, he hunts people down. Even here in the US, there's been some suspicious deaths of Russians who have spoken out. But at this point, it's almost like this sick joke where everybody's like, oh, fell out a window. You know, you speak out, you fall out a window. That's kind of the move. So
yeah, hospitals here, you can't even open the window for that reason.
Open the window, yeah. So maybe they just need to change their windows.
And they'll say it's suicide, and it'll be like there's one incident where a guy was in a hospital, hung himself, and then in the next room over, they found his wife and kids like that were murdered, stacked up on the bed.
Jesus.
So it's like, yeah, sorry, not to bring the vibe down.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a whole. It's a whole to do over there.
Covering
Not
all
great.
the basics today. Cancer, Russian, Russian deaths. Sorry, go on, Traps.
No, just like the ballet dancer. He was a very handsome guy,
Yeah, this guy, that one guy shot himself in the chest 5 times. I don't think it's possible. I don't think you could do such a thing.
5 times.
So, yeah.
So I assume you kind of have to be a little bit famous to even be on their radar in the first place, or is that the only way they're going to find out if you're actually against them, or can like a 25-year-old from Russia tweet something?
So Stephanie has the list up. There's like a foreign minister. There's a creative director of big IT companies. There's founders of different
the head of
banks,
Luke Oil,
construction companies that are required to do different things for the Russian government. There's the director general, CEOs of banks, former generals. It's all kinds of stuff. Anything that was against Putin, you end up on this list. So far, it's been 64.
I would move into a trailer, I think, somewhere close to the ground.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'd be fine.
no balconies in this new place.
Balconies. That'd be fine.
No balconies at all.
All right, well, transitioning to a lighter note, I believe we have a video of Frank Cooks that I'm excited to watch, and it's basically just him about to burn down Feidelberg's apartment, I want to say.
Frank, you gotta get control of the situation.
I don't know, Wayne. We don't have good equipment here.
What? Now I have a question. Why is Fight sacrificing his apartment for this?
I have no idea.
Because that's enough smoke that it's going to stay. Whatever he's cooking, that's going to stay deep in his clothes for a long time.
I'd say open the balcony door, let it air out, but I don't know Frank's views on
we don't know his views on Russia.
That might be the most Frank and Jinx video of all time. Like Frank's freaking out trying to cook something, Jinx doing everything he can to keep things on the rails, having his big old blanket dissipating the smoke and calming Frank down verbally.
Jenks is a man who needs more support. We need to provide Jenks with a little more support because I think he might be a man on the brink. He's got a lot.
When he had a tweet a little while ago, probably 3 years ago, I don't know, timeline is terrible, where he was like, I've had like 5 days off since I've been with Frank.
Yeah.
Like that's a big time job. Who do you think is more attached to their content person, Jinx or Austin?
To Dave?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Jenks.
Yeah,
I'm going to say it's
too,
Jenks by a landslide.
Yeah, because Jinx is like a borderline bedside nurse too. Like he's staying at Frank's.
Yeah.
He's
overnight.
on call 24/7, basically. What were they even cooking? A Thanksgiving meal?
Yeah, it looks like Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah,
Friendsgiving. Had a little gravy.
Oh, my God. Love it.
Yeah, shout out to Feidelberg for letting Frank cook at his house. I think I'd rather let like my kids throw an underage party there.
Yeah, he's braver than the U.S. Marines for doing that.
Absolutely.
I'd say so.
If you've seen that man cook ribs, you should not let him in your kitchen.
I am concerned of the lack of smoke detector. That should definitely be a smoke detector situation.
I'm surprised it didn't set off the building sprinklers.
Right.
It's a tough.
The Frank Cook videos are about the journey, how we got there, not the goal. I will say something I noticed here that it's been pissing me off in general lately. I feel like ceiling fans are becoming more and more rare. The place I live in now, and that does, you just turn the ceiling fan on at full speed. You don't need to have 3 people, blowing blankets right there.
I have been moving into different apartments since I was 18. And I feel like the house I'm in now is like the first time I've had ceiling fans the whole time. Maybe I'm just poor.
I guess we're not trending.
My first big apartment, I was so pumped to have this townhouse in Virginia, and I go in, I get the keys at 9 p.m. I go in there, and there's not a single overhead light except for in the bathroom.
Overhead lights are rare
in the
too.
Whole house.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I guess ceiling fans just aren't trendy anymore, but they are just as effective.
They really do a good job.
And that was talking lights and fans.
Lights and fans and all that kind of stuff. Very exciting.
All right, that is the rundown. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next week when we're back here in Chicago.